Alright, welcome back everybody. On this video I have one question for you, and that question is simply this. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention to what's going on in the world today? Are you paying attention to the economics of how this world is reacting to a lot of the things that are going on today? There are people, just to kind of clue you in on a few things that I've been doing a little research on, and I've been, kind of knowing all along, but maybe you haven't. So I wanted to share some information with you about it. Are you aware that the job market is not the same job market that it was 20 years ago, even 10 years ago? Are you aware that the way people are generating a profit today is basically online? It's not all online, but the basics of it is online. Are you aware that access to that same process is available to you today? It's available to you. Just like you see the large corporations, the large companies who create the media, who work in the media, who create companies, who have their own businesses, those people do the same thing that you have the ability to do yourself. The only thing necessary is that you try and understand that it's possible for you. You need to understand that just because John says you can't do it, or Barbara says you can't do it, that's not important. What's important is if you say that you can do it. Because if you say that you can do it, then you will start that journey, you will start that process, and you'll connect with people who can help you along that way, along that journey. But if you don't say that you can do it, if you don't believe it's possible for you, then you won't take that first step. And if you don't take that first step, you can't take the second, and then the next one, and then the next one. Because that's how life is. Just think about when you were young, when you were like in the first grade. When you're in the first grade and the end of the year came and it was time to go to the second grade, you wanted to go to the second grade. So you wanted to make sure that you had done enough during that year to go to the second grade, right? By the time you got in the seventh grade, you were more conscious of what it took to go from the seventh to the eighth grade. By the time you become in high school, then you knew exactly where you stood as far as your grades. And you knew what you needed to do to speed the process up. In other words, if you had been lacking the first 6 months of the school semesters, and now it's time for test, you knew you needed to buckle down and pass that test in order for you to go to the next grade so that you're able to graduate on time, right? That's how business works. When you decide that you want to start this business, whatever that is for you, online in the 21st century, you don't have to go out and ask anybody's permission. You simply buckle down and start to gain knowledge about how that works. And once you get to the first grade level, then you're able to understand, well, I've done enough to go to the next level. And once you get to the seventh grade level, you're actually generating some money because you understand it that well. Now, by the time you reach high school, guess what? You have several streams of income that's generating a profit for you. The only level past that is to partner with people, become a venture capitalist where you can now loan money to other people who are interested in starting businesses. And I know none of that crosses your mind right now because, you're in kindergarten, right? So don't look at that as you have to stay there. You can move up, and you should move up. And you should be mentored by someone who's walked that walk, or coached by someone who's walked that walk, or can assist you with getting to that next level. And you can only do that by making that decision that that's what you're going to do. And once you do that, don't let people talk you out of it, because they will talk you out of it. People who have that crab mentality will see you moving up, and they'll do everything they can to pull you back down. And if your mind isn't strong or your processes aren't strong, what will happen is you'll succumb to that. And next thing you know, everybody's looking up, wishing, hoping, thinking that someone is coming to the rescue. Well, let me say this. No one's coming to the rescue. You've been given specific abilities and specific skills that you can sharpen and you can hone and you can become an owner of who you are and what you do and what you stand for. But until you make that decision, you're going to be a follower. What do you mean you're not a follower? All good leaders are good followers. Do you anticipate being a good leader one day? Well, you have to be a good follower to be a good leader. But you don't have to be a follower exclusively. You can also be a leader. And once you're able to do that, there's a different freedom that comes with ownership. There's a different freedom that comes with being able to know that regardless of what happens, you'll be okay financially because you put in the time and the effort to make that transition from employee to employer. Right? You can do it. And I can help. SpeakingLarry.com